L-A-T-D Nation, welcome back to the channel. L-A-T-D Nation, welcome back to the channel. Of course, it's your boy Jay.
This is RG from the 843.
And today, we got a new Frightning Friday Halloween Spooktacular for y'all.
Yes, sir. The first of many, so be on the lookout for them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, if y'all saw it, did y'all see our review on Good Boy for the Wolf on Wednesday?
We didn't either.
Yes, sir. There we go. But today
we
gonna
didn't even watch it.
Exactly. But today we're going to be looking at the details of the classic, the directorial debut of one Jordan Peele, a.k.a. Get Out.
Yes, sir. Yes. Legendary, iconic, masterwork, influential, generational.
Right.
And really, it just goes on.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all already know what Get Out is. It's that classic 2017 movie that was like, as Rodney just said, generational for its time. Like,
I think it was ahead of its time. I think it was really ahead of its time. Like rewatching it yesterday was the first time I watched this thing in its entirety, probably in at least 3 years or so, maybe even longer than that. And it really held up because then this movie came out. I was only 18. Like, I had literally just turned 18, maybe a few weeks prior to this movie coming out.
Right.
Because I think if I'm remembering correctly, it was probably about February 17, like mid-February or so when it came out.
Something like that.
Around that time.
So, yeah, bro. Like, when I saw this movie, I was 17 at the time. I was still in school. Yeah. Of course, my mom and them, they didn't take me to go see it, so I had to go catch it with a couple of my friends.
For sure.
And everything. So, because
that sounds about right.
Because the thing is, she wasn't big on horror movies back then, but this is one of the movies that made me start becoming a horror fan. Shocker.
Sure.
To this day, because this movie, Us, Nope, Sinners is another movie that I love this year, even though I had some complaints about it.
Review up on the channel for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I kind of want to re-review it just for the Spooktacular, but we can wait till next year.
For sure.
But all I know is, like, yeah, this is the movie that paved the way for me as a horror fan. Like, I was always a fan of like Predator and stuff like that in the Alien movies for the most part, but when it came to like regular slasher films and how complex that they actually are, instead of just being like killed for the sake of kill, that's when this movie was the reason for that, you know.
Yeah, no, I can. For me personally, I wasn't always a big horror fan back then, but this is one of the movies that started to make me come around more to it. Because I feel like the thing about Get Out is that it was a very different and unique premise, in my opinion, because we already know what the plot of Get Out is. We already know what the sunken place is. I remember they were calling Kanye. They were on Kanye's ass in 2017 and 18. Oh, he's in the sunken place. You know, whole time we didn't realize it was much worse. But, hey, I digress. So, yeah, Get Out, we already know the plot. Chris, photographer, trauma that, you know, he's dealt with in his past. That's revealed more so as the plot of the movie goes on, goes with his white girlfriend to meet her family, like out in like the countryside. And what really made this movie stick out, because I don't really remember any mainstream movie before really tackle this theme like this and really kind of tackle this sort of subject matter. Because, you know, we already know the idea of interracial dating is a very controversial thing. Yeah. And I think the thing that...
Shout out Dr. Umar.
For sure. The way Umar's going, he might end up on our podcast. Who knows?
Like that would be kind of dope, though.
Umar. Shit. Hey, you know where to find this nigga. But anyway, I'll say that this movie, for me, like I said, the plot, the premise was very unique. I don't remember anything really tackling this. And I think Jordan Peele's advantage in being able to handle this so well, because Jordan Peele, as we know, is married to Chelsea Peretti. They were together at the time. That's a white woman, you know. So he already knew of and kind of understands that experience. So you can definitely see that a lot of this movie was based on his own experiences, kind of autobiographical, kind of sort of like drawing on what he has gone through being a black man dating a white woman. So,
right.
But he did it in a way to where it was both, he added his own unique blend of comedy and horror that I don't really think has been replicated since.
Right, yeah, no. Well, no. You can say that.
What movies would you say?
His other two.
But no, I'm saying like Jordan Peele, he established himself with this movie to have a very sort of unique directing style, very direct voice. Because this movie is equal parts. It is scary enough. It's creepy. It's bone chilling. It's atmospheric enough.
Oh, definitely.
But he knows how to break the comedy. He knows how to bring the comedy and make it funny, but also let it play to its strength and still be very emotional, very, sort of like chilling, very atmospheric. And for him to master that as well as he did with this first movie really shows what kind of filmmaker we were in for in terms of a career.
Right.
Like, I just think that this movie was a masterful first outing for a director,
100%. 100%. The biggest thing that I loved about this movie was the messaging in it.
Yeah.
And his movies in general. We'll probably talk about Nope and Us at a later point in the month. Low key, I kind of want to now.
We can talk about it.
Yes, sir. But there's a lot of the messages that he has in his movies, like especially this one about like you said, the interracial dating and stuff like that. The nuances of it. And one thing I like in this movie especially is that they made make Rose's family, Rose played by Allison Williams. Made
spoilers, of course, because the movie's almost 10 years old.
Exactly. So like they're black. They're black.
They're black.
They're white liberals instead of just flat out white conservatives.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that like them being liberals makes them more nuanced and stuff because he mentions the Armitages. They mention that especially the dad Dean. He mentions that his Rose's grandfather ran against Jesse Owens, and that's the reason why he wants to steal black bodies. And they see black people more as vessels and means of production rather than actual people.
For sure.
And he says to Chris constantly like those same old, oh, I would have voted for Obama for the third term. It's a shame.
Little nuances and stuff like that, which, I didn't pick up on at the time, but it's like now years later, like I can kind of like see it. I see what he was kind of getting at when he had stuff like that, had them say stuff like that. But that's actually something I didn't even really think about. Like Jesse Owens kind of being a catalyst for like why they went in that direction, or at least there's an implication. I never really thought about it like that. So that's actually that's a good observation right there.
Yeah, man. And then it's like, and even with the directing too, because even in the first like 15 minutes of the film, when you first meet the Armitage family, they're talking about how they keep a piece of their mother in the kitchen, which she's possessed by, or she's possessed Georgina, and she's in the kitchen just. Like subtle like foreshadowing like that.
For sure, yeah.
Is what makes this movie so masterful as well. It's not just about the messaging. It like this movie really is a great film by itself.
Yeah.
It's like the nuances, the messaging, the directing and like the subtlety, the details. Like look at the details. So it's like all of this plays a part in why this movie is so great.
Fact, not to mention Lil Rel.
Exactly.
Kaluuya is iconic in the movie, of course. The legendary sunken place scene, which to this day still trips me out.
I will say this: I wish they would have changed up Daniel Kaluuya's statue, though.
You think so?
Yeah, because I feel like it isn't as triumphant as I feel like it should be. Of course, it's not up to me; it's his statue, so
yeah,
it is what it is. But that aside, keep going.
Kaluuya. I mean, this was the first time I'd ever heard of Daniel Kaluuya, as is I feel like most people. I mean, he established himself as one of my favorite actors of his generation. To this day, he's still one of my favorite young actors working today.
Yeah, same.
Because he's just so good at balancing that. You can tell that he has a lot of trauma that he has not really dealt with. Trauma that's kind of weighing on him. With his mom, as we know. His mom dying in a car accident when he was young. You can tell that he kind of buries it and he kind of hides it. And one thing I really like, and I think I pointed this out to you, one thing I really like is that the subtle ways in which there's kind of like this racist sort of like, I guess, sort of way of addressing him with the Armitage family. He has a way of addressing it to where it's like, shit, I don't really even care, because it's like you get the sense that this is what he's used to. Whereas Rose played also masterfully by Allison Williams.
Right.
She has more of a sort of heated, man, I can't believe they're like this. I can't believe they're doing this, that, and the third. which again, that does a good job of kind of highlighting the differences in culture, the differences in sort of like outlook and perspective on things. Because this is somebody who's been dealing with it his whole life, has internalized it, has learned to understand that it's not something worth getting mad at.
Right.
She isn't used to it. Because as it's mentioned, or at least it's said at the beginning, this is her first black boyfriend, quote unquote, which is a damn lie, of course, as we find out throughout the movie. But yeah, it was really interesting. And that's another thing I didn't pick up on as a kid because I didn't really have an experience like that or known anybody to have an experience like, because we were young, obviously, you know.
Yeah, but as we've gotten older, shit.
Yeah. For sure, but yeah, I think
you look like that guy from Blindside. Like,
yes,
like I played this, and you know who you are when I say that. I played this movie to inspire you, man.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so it's just stuff like that, like the way he balances the intricacies and the nuances, not just through the direction, but Kaluuya's performance. And like I said, going back to Allison Williams, she does a good job of playing a seemingly normal girl that's all in for him, all on his side, but then the twist and the flip that she was in it the whole time, the way that the keys scene, the way it transitions and reveals who she's always been, but it's implied throughout the movie. Yeah. Like you see that she's kind of shady herself. Right.
It's like Training Day in that regard, where you have to watch him multiple times in order to really understand. Exactly. Because of the subtle nuances, the subtlety of her character, like has like a double meaning behind it. When she tells somebody to like chill out, it's because one, she black boyfriend, he could be offended, but also don't give away too much because we're trying to get him at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Make him a part of the quote unquote cult at the end of the day.
We're not trying to scare him off.
He kind of ain't no cult, but he is a cult. But yeah, we're not trying to scare exactly.
For sure.
And it's like with Chris's performance, I like how he's a smarter horror protagonist out there. Like he's asking questions. He's challenging. He's challenges exactly. But the thing is, Daniel Kaluuya's performance is great to me as well, is because even though he's in more of a reserved role, it still works in the sense that he's just meeting the family, so he's gonna chill. He's not gonna say too much. He's just gonna be
on guard.
Exactly. He is very much on guard. He's like, he's just meeting these people. You know what I'm saying? It's not
he
like
doesn't know what to expect.
Exactly. So, but by the end, when he knows what to expect and he knows that it's coming, and the thing is, he knows that Rose, especially with the key scene, that he knows that she ain't right. But he's just hoping and praying that maybe I can get out of this somehow, some way. And then when he breaks his cool, and it's like the Rose, now the keys. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like that. That's the only real emotional break you really see from him, other than him crying.
Him crying,
and that's more so due to the hypnosis and everything. Like when he gets put into the sunken place.
Right. Exactly.
Like you could tell, like he doesn't really want to break down and express too much emotion because that's kind of what he's been ingrained with. Especially because it seems like they're from Brooklyn. That's where
something like that. It's New York that they live.
It's New York. So he kind of come from an experience where he's kind of always had to be on guard, anyways. So I really like rewatching it now. I really do see like how masterful Kaluuya really was, how masterful Allison Williams, really the whole family, honestly, the whole like all of those actors. But I think the person, and I mentioned this yesterday when we were rewatching it, Lil Rel, in my opinion, he stole the movie. He stole the whole movie. He stole every single scene he was in my opinion.
I wouldn't say that for me, but I kind of saw him at what he was, the comedic relief. But he definitely was another smart character in this movie, though. Like the movie, I will agree with you. The movie will be way different without him in it.
Yeah,
I
mean, I told you not to go in that house.
Right, exactly. Like he's
he's challenging stuff, and the thing is that I feel like that kind of caricature. I feel like we all know that one black person where it's like you watch a horror movie. Oh, well, I know for a fact it wouldn't go down like that if I was in this movie.
Yeah, that's exactly who he is.
That's exactly what he is. He's that character incarnate.
Exactly.
Like he's that come to life.
Because the thing is with Lil Rel too, like I like that he was also a smarter character as well. Because even though he doesn't know, but the way Chris describes it, he kind of put two and two together pretty quickly. Like, and the thing is, that's only been the span of, a couple of days?
Literally.
And it's like, he's like, it's played up for a joke, like, sex slave. sex slaves, you know, blah blah. Like they hypnotizing black
shit.
people to be sex slaves. I'm like, but he ain't technically wrong.
He ain't off.
Because Lakeith Stanfield also in this movie a great actor in and of
One
himself.
of my other favorites for sure.
Yeah, he was definitely on the come up in this around this time. He played Andre Hayworth, aka Logan. He was unfortunately one of the victims in the Armitage's little brain transplant experiment thing, and he mentions that dang, I forgot what I was gonna say, but he mentions that he knows Andre and that he knows that he's been missing for some time.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and that's one of the things where he starts to put stuff together that something really is wrong because, you know, he can't quite put his finger on it, but he knows him from somewhere. And then
Chris knows him from somewhere.
Yeah, and then the thing is that Chris has the mentality, the idea to put the flash on when he takes a picture of him and it snaps him out of it. And then that's when he utters the iconic, get out, get out. Right,
exactly. Like his character, for me, you already know, like, I like how Chris started noticing. It was like, good to see another brother in here, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, what is all these notifications on my computer? I was good to see another brother up in here, and next thing you know, it's like he turns around and is very like, well, Chris was very much happy with my being here. Talks in a very same thing with Georgina and Walter. Yeah. Walter being played by Marcus Henderson, who was, fun fact, in Snowfall, he played Andre in Snowfall. They both talk with a very older style of tone, very posh and quote unquote refined, yeah. Like very doggone keeper. Oh, isn't she nice, young man? Yeah. Like if you would have laughed, that's how he would sound. You know what I'm saying? So I like the nuances with that too. The performances with that too, and that they changed up the speech pattern and everything. They dressed differently. Andre dressed more like Logan dressed more like a man in that time. Yeah. Like in the 1940s time with the little flat fedora type hat and then stuff like that, and then the earthy kind of tone with the collar shirt and stuff like that with the blazer. Like you can tell there's someone right. And,
for sure.
And then the whole party scene, I'm gonna be real, that's when I would have left overall. Yeah, for sure. Because it's like, you mean to tell me all these people, oh my gosh, has such a nice genetic makeup, and do you run track and everything, bro? You know how many times I done heard that shit in my life. Like I feel like if I was there, they would be like, oh my gosh, I know you played football.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm like that type of stuff, but really that's more of an evaluation of Chris about, you know, because he's there to be auctioned off and everything. So
there you go, and that's the thing. That's another nuance that I didn't pick up. Like they say those things because they're examining him, because it's revealed that they're playing bingo to get the right to transplant their consciousness into him.
And then the one guy who says black is in style now, or black is in fashion.
Exactly what he was about.
Exactly.
And like you said, rewatching it is one of the movies where you have to watch it multiple times to really get a lot of the deeper meanings and the nuances behind it. It's a movie that gets better the older you get.
Oh yeah,
this movie was ahead of its time in general, but for me specifically, it was because I just didn't understand what he was trying to say. I was too young to get a lot of what he was trying to say.
All I know is after me and my mom and them and my sister and them watched this movie, that's why they started saying, Jay, that's why you don't date white women. I'm like, Mom. Now that I'm older now, I'm like, she had no idea what she was talking about. But because it's like, this isn't really it really isn't what that movie is. What movie is saying. Yeah, exactly. They're saying that like as a society, a lot of like racist white people tend to see black people as, like I mentioned earlier in the video, as vessels, as means of production, as tools, as, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Like that's why a lot of times, I'm gonna say this too about, might get a little ranty in a second, but that's why a lot of athletes, especially black athletes, are so looked at and talked about as they are. I remember, I think I mentioned this before to you about like Dak Prescott. Like they treat a lot of Dak Prescott went through a lot in his life. He lost his mom and he lost his brother to suicide, and everything. He had to deal with the career-ending injury. And it's not just black athletes. I think it's athletes in general, but it's really more for the black athletes part. Yeah. Because even in the movie, Rose is looking up different athletes that she's trying to scope out.
Yeah.
Like, and that were basketball players. Same thing with LeBron with the shut up and dribble. But back to Dak Prescott, like I respect him as a man because he's still going through all this, and people talk about him like a damn dog on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of times they don't see a lot of these black athletes as human beings and see what they go through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I definitely see that perspective of it, and that definitely you do see that, and I did pick that up. That it's kind of like a metaphor, can also be a metaphor for how a lot of like black people are kind of treated in sports and things like that. Like I said, it's a very smart movie. Definitely was ahead of its time. But what really amazes me about this movie is how it was able to have such a cultural impact and was able to transcend into so many different lanes and avenues. And because this is a movie for everybody. I feel like
it definitely is.
This movie ain't just for black people, ain't just for white people. It's for everybody, you know, because it really does a good job of bringing everybody together and kind of bringing an experience to the forefront that's very unique. I don't think it's really been done better before. It hasn't really been done since. And for that movie, for that reason, along with the cultural impact, because this movie was everywhere for at least a year after it came out. Like, people were referencing this movie well
after a year. There was a bunch of memes.
It's a part of the culture. It's to this day, the sunken place, Get Out, all of that stuff is still memes to this day, and it really speaks to the impact that it had.
Because this movie aged incredibly well.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. It definitely still, has a very relevant voice and a very relevant perspective. For that reason, I say this movie is a classic. Mm-hmm. It's a 10 out of 10.
It's a flawless victory. 10 for me.
It's one of my favorite movies of the 2010s. It's really one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, same here.
It's one of the movies that made me fall in love with film to begin with, especially for our generation. I think, like I mentioned to you, I think it's one of the very few movies that's come out in recent years, within the last 10 years, that is unanimously going to go down as a classic / generation-defining movie. Because as social media kind of takes over and kind of divides us, it's harder to find that kind of movie, that kind of TV show that just kind of captures a whole sort of moment in time. Right. You don't see that a whole lot. This movie definitely did that. And, like I said, its cultural impact still is felt to this day. It's 10 out of 10. Perfect movie.
Same here for me, bro. 10 out of 10 flawless victory. What else is there to say, man?
Shit, I really don't have anything else to say.
So with all that being said, man, of course, y'all, this has been Jay.
And this has been Rodney.
We're at I-L-A-T-D. We got more Frightful Fridays, maybe a little bit of Woeful Wednesdays coming up, maybe a Terrifying Tuesday coming up. Who knows? But
stay locked in.
Exactly. Stay locked in. Regardless, stay tuned, and I will see y'all later. We will see y'all later.
Yes, sir.
God bless you. Remember, look at the details, please.